It's Tim Albright with AVNation with the Road to ISE. Integrated Systems Europe happens the 30th of January through the 2nd of February. And with me is the reason that we're all going to Barcelona, Mr. Mike Blackman. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, thanks, Tim. I just got back last night from Barcelona.
Of course you did.
Lovely 18 degrees and blue sky and sunshine. I've come back to like a meter of snow in Munich and minus temperatures. Real minus temperatures. Like anything below zero is minus is cold for us. Well, 10 degrees is cold.
Yeah,
but zero for us is minus. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit.
45-ish.
Okay.
Still chilly.
It still starts freezing, and so I got to go and clear the snow from my driveway and everything else, and before I even get the car out. So that's what I've come back to.
Well, before we get started, first of all, congratulations officially on the record. You just earned a master's degree, which I don't care if you have one. That's still freaking amazing. So congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about Barcelona in February. Well, I'm saying February, obviously, end of January, first couple of days of February. You guys have done a couple of things over the last couple of years. Third time around in at the Fiera, right? You've expanded a bit.
Not just a bit. We expanded even more.
Well, there you go.
I can tell you, as of today, the show floor is more than 20% larger than it was this year, as of today. And we're still selling space.
All right. So first of all, and we'll get into some of that in a second, because I do have some questions about the numbers and stuff like that. I don't care if somebody's watching this in the US or if in the UK or if they're watching in Southeast Asia. Number one question is, why should somebody go to ISE?
A lot of people pose that question, and it surprises me sometimes of why we get North Americans coming to ISE. Firstly, it's the beginning of the year. And the result is we get most of the product launches from almost every manufacturer coming out. On the display side, those products that some of the major manufacturers are showing at CES 2 weeks before in Las Vegas, they're coming. We see the crates coming into Barcelona Airport, labeled coming from Las Vegas, and we know exactly what show they've been at, and they're premiering those products in Europe at ISE. Most of the other manufacturers have actually changed their R&D process now, and they're launching products internationally at ISE. We had over 700 members of the press coming to the show last year, exactly for that reason. So if you want to see what's new, come to ISE. If you're new to the sector and want to see everything that's going on, come to ISE and you'll find out.
One of the things that you've done over, good Lord, ever since I've gone to ISE and covered it and started paying attention over 10 years now, which you guys are celebrating 20 years this year.
Yeah.
You've done really great partnerships with tertiary or complementary technologies, complementary industries. Talk for a second about one of the things that, those agreements and those partnerships you've got going on this year.
We like to look at ourselves within, the staff of the permanent staff of ISE. It's 40 people. Some of those are part-time, but, the core organization team, marketing, operations, administration, sales, etc. And they're trying to cover a lot in a short space of time.
Yeah.
I've lost the train now, or where I was. But we grow, we put a lot more in there, a lot of people to support and make other things happen. But we see it, those 40 people, we are experts in organizing shows. We're not experts in every single specific field in which we do. So we look for partnerships. Now, of course, we've got CEDIA and Avixa as the owners and the ones who supply the majority of content for the shows. But what we find, if we want to get more deep into some of the areas and actually get not only knowledge, but also potential attendees from those areas, particularly other associations, then it makes sense to make these partnerships. We grow much stronger and much faster and much more structurally by bringing in partners to help us in those sectors.
One of the things that you and I have chatted about is the number of keynote folks that you've had over the years. And I remember my first time at ISE, you had a keynote at the very first, right, I think the night before. And over the years, you've added 2 or 3 or 4. You've had stages, different places, education, different places. Talk for a second about, I mean, we're recording this in December. We'll release it in January. So talk about the ones you can talk about and what those folks will be bringing to the members of ISE.
So, one of the reasons we actually have keynote speakers is to try and I always use this analogy. I see the show as being like a magazine or a
Okay.
newspaper. And one part is the advertising, and that's what the exhibitors bring. And we, as the publisher, we're responsible for the editorial. And that means training education, that means conferences, that means features, that means everything which is neutral and not selling a specific product or company or whatever. And to make it interesting and actually help, particularly newcomers, but also add that bit of interest, something where people can say, how do I expand my knowledge? So we try to bring keynote speakers in who have got something interesting to tell about. And we've had quite a good few over the years. I don't want to talk about any specific ones at the moment this time, but we do have interesting people coming to speak.
All
And
right.
I think you'll find it very, very rewarding. I think the best thing about keynotes, have a look on our website at the end of the month or just before you go for Christmas, and then you'll see who the really big names are and what's happening and what they're talking about.
All right. Mike, obviously Barcelona in February is never a bad place to be. You're right there on the water. But what's 1 or 2 things you're excited about specifically with the show? What is 1 or 2 things about ISE 24 that you're most excited about?
I would say our 20th anniversary.
Okay.
It's actually quite a milestone to have this continuous growth every year and seeing. I'm a real tech fan, and when I walk around the show floor, it's like a kid in a candy shop saying, "Wow, look at this cool stuff." I think I'm really privileged to see, get firsthand and see all this stuff and learn about what's going on. So I get excited at every show. But we're going to be doing a lot to celebrate 20 years. We're going to be doing a projection mapping in the city again. We'll be
Okay.
introducing a new artist for this. We have a few other exciting things going on in the city, but also in the exhibition. We're going to be doing a treasure hunt, some
Nice.
chance for attendees to win some cool stuff, some swag, and get to visit really interesting companies. We've got on the show floor the ISE sound experience with an audio museum. You want to see real, I won't say antique, but retro,
Historic.
historic. That's a good word. um, we're also talking about sustainability in our industry and looking and seeing, okay, what's going on that's actually making our industry more sustainable. But more so, the fact that it is the biggest show ever. I'd say, what a way to celebrate an anniversary, to actually say we've achieved another milestone, and new exhibitors and new people in there, and guarantee that even if you've been to every single ISE for 20 years, here is something you're going to see new things there as well. So that makes it exciting. It keeps the buzz for me.
All right. Very good. Mike, somebody wants to find out about ISE. They want to register. How do they do that?
So you can go to www.iseurope.org, iseurope.org. And remember, IS Europe, not ISE Europe,
IS Europe. Yes.
IS Europe. And there you can go to registration. You can find out everything about what's going on at the show. You can register. Just click on register, and there you can get in. I'm sure Tim will be giving you his special code to get a free registration. You can find the programs, you can register the conferences there, you can find out how to get there. Don't forget to book your hotel. You can look and do make comparisons, but we have an agency that takes care to keep the hotel prices down. They're
Good.
generally even cheaper than booking.com. So, but make your own comparisons and see the best deals you can get. But like for like, our hotel booking agency tends to be the cheapest. We have, for some regions, we have some arrangements with the airlines. Again, you find that on the website to get some special rates. Um, and you can find out about what else is going on in the city. Remember, Barcelona is a great city. Come for ISE, but add a couple of days on or a day just to come and relax and enjoy it.
Yeah.
The second part of that is that last year we had nice weather. We had 18 degrees. It's a far cry from Amsterdam when we had freezing cold. For the Spanish, 18 degrees, that's really cold, and they wrap up. If you're coming from Malta or from Africa, yes, it is. But for us people living in Germany and Northern Europe, that's sunshine and sunglasses weather. So we are enjoying the benefits of a better weather there. You find daytime, it's quite comfortable, but nighttime, you still need a coat.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the pieces of advice you gave me years ago when ISE was still in Amsterdam, was to add a day on the end and just enjoy the city itself. So absolutely.
Both cities, Amsterdam was a great city to
Oh yeah.
enjoy and see the cultural part of it. I can say, exactly the same in Barcelona. There's a lot of culture. There's a lot of museums, galleries, really cool stuff to see. But what's really good is the culinary offerings they have, and relatively
100%.
inexpensive. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cheaper than Amsterdam. It's cheaper than Vegas. It's cheaper than Orlando. You got really good quality food for a good price.
All right, very good. Mike Blackman from ISE. Thank you, sir. We will see
Thank you.
him in Barcelona the 30th of January through the 2nd of February. For us, for AVNation, go by our website, avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv, and follow along as we head to ISE 30th of January through the 2nd of February. All that and more at avnation.tv. It's avnation.tv.